We'll go now. Flawless. Hello, CSM2 viewers. I'm Cody Roskins alongside Gavin Russell. We're inside IVC Gymnasium, the Spook House, here in Chillicothe, Illinois, for tonight's girls sectional championship game. We're just a few minutes away here in the first quarter. It's a 9-2 ball game in favor of Canton between, again, the Canton Lady Giants and the U-High Pioneers. Gavin, we've kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties getting on. We're able to power through those. What have you seen through the first handful of minutes?
Well, it's been kind of a back-and-forth battle, but so far Canton with a 9-2 lead. They're playing really well, especially their defense has been stout early on.
U-High will drive baseline. Right-footed runner is off the mark and rebounded in by Jenna Goforth. She was one of the two big-time players in their last game. She combined with fellow teammate Katie Smith for 30 points in their last win over second-seeded Taylor Ridge in their regional. And a three-pointer on the way for U-High and in. Now cuts it to a 9-5 ball game. Lady Giants now on the attack. Dribble drive towards the middle by Wheeler. Kicked back out for a three. Hits front rim in out for Ella Demler. U-High trying to cut down the deficit once more. 9-5 again with 2:43 to go here in the first quarter. Baseline drive and one! U-High responding in a big way since we've come on the air, Gavin. And another great take to the rim for the Pioneers.
Senior Naomi Elliott with the and one opportunity right there, and it was a tough take to the rack. I mentioned how good that Canton defense had been early on, but man, look, U-High is turning it up late in the first quarter.
Free throw on the way, hits back iron and rattles out. Offensive board corralled by U-High. Of course, U-High coming out of Normal. They are the 5 seed out of this sectional. Canton, the 6 seed. Both Cinderella stories at this point in the season, but for one of these teams, Cinderella will no longer be dancing. As the jump ball along the baseline will give possession back to the Lady Giants.
Well, they gave up the offensive board. U-High did a nice job capitalizing on the missed free throw, but couldn't quite get another shot to go. Nice forced turnover there by the Lady Giants, and they will move up trying to extend their lead out.
Katie Smith, again, she was the second of that two-headed monster, along with Jenna Goforth, that combined for 30 in a win over Taylor Ridge. They had a 21-10 run, Gavin, in the last quarter to win that ball game and advance to their first ever sectional title game, and now they're looking to advance to their first ever super sectional with a victory here tonight. Canton still with possession. Elmer kicks it to the right corner. Shot fake, now to the left wing, one more to the short corner. Now feeds down low off the hands of Ashley Groves, a senior forward, and this will go out of bounds, possession to Normal.
Not the best possession there if you're Canton, but U-High really starting to turn it up. Both these teams pretty similarly matched. Good mix of youth and experience. So far, a pretty even game.
Token pressure here from Canton. It's easily broke by Kayla Peterson. Dribble drive down the lane, floated off the mark. Another offensive rebound for U-High on one missed shot. Second shot goes up and off the mark, still brought in by U-High. Finally dug out by, it looked like, Naomi Elliott. As they work it around the perimeter, a great down low pass. Two-footed finish inside the lane is up and good, and we have a timeout charge to Canton, Gavin. It's a 9-9 ball game all over again.
Well, you got 1:21 left to go in the first period, and boy, it was 9-2 when we got on the air. Of course, you know, we missed the first few minutes with some technical difficulties, Cody, but U-High powering back. They knew they weren't out of this one. Still plenty of time left for both teams to get settled in, and U-High responding with a big 7-0 run. Big thing that stands out to me, Cody, is the offensive rebounds. Just on that last possession alone, they had 3 or 4 of them. When you get that many offensive rebounds, you're bound to score.
Absolutely, Gavin. And we had mentioned earlier, this is Canton's first ever sectional title game, looking for a chance to go to their first ever super sectional title game, super sectional game with a chance with a state playoff berth at large. And now they've gone on a 9-2 run, they've gone on a 9-2 run, and they've been on the opposite end of a 7-0 run here in the last 2.5 minutes. Ball is swung in the full court to Lily Giles. Dribble just beyond half court where it'd be a trap for Canton. Now trying to drive baseline, and a blocking foul will be charged. Number 40, Carrie Merriweather, the sophomore forward.
They needed the foul there, maybe to slow things down a little bit. Make a couple of substitutions here. Bring back Jenna Goforth, who's one of the big parts of this team. See if they can get a late spark on offense for the Little Giants.
Baseline pass is caught and hauled in, now to the left side wing. Jenna Goforth swings it to the top key, and it's now reversed all the way to the right wing. Looking into the short corner. Pass fake, now to the left. Goforth has it and hands it off. Looking downhill, shot on the way. This one for three for Canton. Just hits back iron. Offensive rebound is corralled, and there will be an offensive foul charged against number 13, Carly Zumstein. And I checked that. They're going to give that one to Groves instead, so another foul on the senior forward.
Yeah, that's costly. You don't want to get into foul trouble. You know, this is a big game. You want all your players ready to go. Don't want to have to sit anybody on the bench because of fouls.
Groves already with her second foul of the game. We're under 50 seconds to go here in period number one. It's a 9-9 ball game between U-High and Canton. Elliott on the drive, left-handed shot off the left foot as well. Comes off and goes to Canton. Naomi Elliott, though, in the full court, strips it from behind. Now here comes U-High. 3v3 fast break. They're able to pull it up. 30 seconds remaining here in quarter number one. Elliott to the top of the key. We'll try and go one-on-one against Dumler. Now it's swung around to the right wing. Going behind the back. Can doing a good job of extending the pressure out beyond the three-point line. Behind the back move. Stuck into the hands of Corday. Elliott throws it up at the horn. It'll be out of bounds with 1.6 to go. A deep shot from three-point range. Probably thought she had less time than she did.
Yeah, had the countdown coming from the bench, trying to get the troops fired up there to make a last shot, but shot it maybe a little bit too early, Cody. Left a second and a half left.
And so with a 1.6 seconds left on the clock, Katie Smith inbounds it and they just dribble it out. So Canton and U-High will go into the second period of this game, knotted up at 9. Gavin, let's give our listeners a quick reset because we did come on a little late. That's our fault. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but a great game that we've had so far. We saw a 9-2 Lady Giants run, followed up by a 7-0 Pioneers run. And so what has kind of been the difference in both those trends?
Well, if you just came in right now and kind of looked at where we are at this game, 9-9 at the end of one quarter, you'd think, oh, this has been a fairly even game, maybe a little back and forth on the scoring. But in fact, as we like to say, Cody, it's a game of runs. Both of these teams have already come off one big run in the first quarter. We know Canton is a team that likes to go on big runs. They're not necessarily the most consistent teams because they do have some younger players on their team. But as they'll get more experience, they'll have that consistency. But at the moment, they're a team, when they get going, that's when they're playing their best ball. Just got to hone it in coming into the second quarter and try to find some more of that consistency.
Let's go ahead and give you a quick regional reset here. Again, we are in the sectional championship game. So on the Canton side of things, they defeated the 10-seed Farmington 44-40. They defeated the 4-seed Tremont 57-41. Defeated the number 1-seeded Eureka 53-30. And then they defeated second-seeded Taylor Ridge 49-34. On the opposite side for U-High, they took down Peoria Heights 63-46. Third-seeded Bloomington by 20, 53-33. Deer Creek Mackinac 50-29. And number 1-seeded Sherrard 49-47. So both teams continue to dance here late in the postseason. As the baseline pass is turned over by U-High, and an immediate reach-in foul was called. We'll wait to see who they're going to give credit to this to. There were a couple of hands in there, Gavin.
Active defense, Cody. Both these teams playing pretty scrappy. Of course, sectionals late into the IHSA postseason now. Don't want to leave anything left. You got to put it all on the floor tonight.
Now as Kari Merriweather got called for the reach and foul. That's her second. Ball swung around the arc to the left wing. This is corralled by Demler. Up to the top of the three-point line. Canton trying to orchestrate some offense. Pass, a little bit of a ride. Still hauled in, though, by Katie Smith. Now going downhill is Goforth. She kicks outside to the corner. Shot fake drive. Pull-up jumper from the mid-range is just short. Nearly corralled on the offensive rebound by Allison Wheeler. Really followed up her own shot with another one.
So, of course, our listeners can't see the action that's going on, but something that I'm observing myself, Canton's getting good shots. They're getting good looks. It's just they aren't falling at the moment, but keep taking the good looks. They'll eventually start falling.
7:12 to go here in the second, and a big three is knocked in by Naomi Elliott. The senior guard puts up the U-High Pioneers 12-9. Canton on the drive, responding right back is a freshman, Ella Demler. Number 11 on the drive for two and cuts it down to a 1-point game. Trying to work against, again, the full court pressure. Pass off into the far corner. Still corralled by U-High. Elliott has it top the key, trying to work to her left hand. Going one-on-one against the freshman, Demler. All swung around, weave to the right wing. Crabtree has it now for U-High. Pick and roll, trying to dish it down low. Pass is intercepted by Canton, and they're going to call a reach-in foul on Katie Smith. So a tough foul call there if you're Canton, because he got the tip pass, but the person that tipped the pass was not the person that got called for the reach-in foul, Gavin.
Well, the crowd doesn't care for it too much. We've got half green and half purple in the stands to our view, and the people in purple don't care for that call too much. I think they might have a case.
Canton definitely one of the more passionate fan bases around the Mid-Illini Conference, and they had a gauntlet of a schedule, which we'll touch on here at our next break. But after a turnover by U-High, Canton will dribble this one up the floor. Driving down low, one-handed layup is going to go in and fall. Jenna Goforth with a somewhat half-hearted reverse layup, able to spin it around on the rim. Gives her team a 1-point edge. On the other end, fast break pass just too high that time from Kayla Peterson, intended for a wide open Pioneer along the baseline in the fast break.
Well, with the full court pressure, Canton didn't have anybody back, so wide open Pioneer under the hoop, but got to make them execute. Good pressure forcing the turnover.
5:50 to go here in the second quarter. Left-handed drive for Canton, stopped around the block. Had a momentary look from three, didn't want it. Kick back outside. Corralled in by Demler. She'll kick back outside. Three-pointer on the way for Canton. It's a little long and off, hauled in by Adriana Crabtree. Elliott now, top the key. Trying to work against this very stout man-to-man defense from Canton. Crabtree with it. Working against the double team. They trap off the ball screen. Now back in Elliott's hand. She'll drive right, kick back outside. Corday finds herself stuck in the mid-range, has to kick it back out to Crabtree, and a traveling call will be going against Adriana Crabtree, the senior guard, and that's a tough one that time for U-High when you thought you had a good possession going.
Well, you know, U-High really turned up the offense late in that first quarter and kind of into the second quarter as we move now with 5:05 left to go. But Canton's defense getting back to their ways, making it tough.
Shot fake on the near wing for Allison Wheeler. Again, Canton doing a great job of popping the ball around the arc, looking inside, and there they go inside. No foul called on the reach. Katie Smith had it. Now dished down low, and it'll be a kickball violation against U-High, and that's Crabtree, as they were looking down low once more. Canton getting some good looks in the paint, though, Gavin.
Yeah, and that's where their bread and butter has been all night long. They've taken some perimeter shots, but haven't had much success. A lot of their points coming from the painted area. Keep feeding the ball down there, and good things have been happening.
4:45 to go in a 13-12 ball game here in Chillicothe, home of IVC and the Gray Ghosts. But tonight it's home of the sectional title game. It's a jump shot from the left short corner will go in for Canton. That's number 2, Katie Smith, the senior forward. Again, she had a big outing last time, which helped them advance to their school's first ever sectional title game. There's now U-High on the opposite end. Baseline drive and pass is stripped away. Canton with another great defensive effort along the baseline.
Played straight up, kind of got the strip block and goes the other way.
Racing down to the other end. Here come the Lady Giants as Wheeler flicks it to the top of the key to Demler. Freshman will now reverse it right back to Wheeler. Wheeler sends it off to Zumstein. Now Jenna Goforth kicks it off. Just cycling through the offense here. Katie Smith on the dribble drive. Couldn't get the one-handed finish to go, and now here come U-High. The Pioneers looking for a basket. They find themselves trailing 15-12 with 3:40 to go in the second quarter. Naomi Elliott trying to drive one-on-one. Will spin back towards the paint. Now back it out. Tough defense here as Corday dribble drives, kick outside. Crabtree's three on the way, hits back iron, rattles out, but another offensive board for U-High. Elliott has it in the far side corner again. U-High working from left to right here. Shot against two in the paint is off the mark, and a great box out and rebound by Ella Demler. Demler runs to the break, kicks outside for three. Loose ball corralled by Canton as it was a Lady Giant who stumbled and hit the floor, and Crabtree corrals the loose ball. Coming down the other way in a fast-paced first half. Corday passes off to Elliott, now back to Corday. Goes behind the back, that seems to be her favorite go-to move. Now Elliott from three. Tried to knock that one in, and we have another foul. This will be offensive against U-High on the rebound attempt. We'll wait for the official call on who it was on. They're going to say over the back on 44 in white, so that'll go against Brooke Corday.
Naomi Elliott continues to fire from three. She's already had a couple of makes from out there, but late in the second quarter, 2:44 left. Might as well start firing them, especially if you've been hot from that area. U-High find themselves down three. A big three would have put them back in it, but Canton gets the ball.
And Gavin, this will take place of our mask timeout here. 2:44 to go. It's 15-12 in favor of Canton. We had talked about the postseason stretch both these teams have had, but both have had topsy-turvy seasons. We had discussed about how Canton had run a gauntlet of a schedule to this point in the season. They're, of course, in the Mid-Illini Conference. They finished conference play 3-11, which to the average viewer may be, well, that's not very good. When in all reality is they're the only two-way school in the conference, and tournaments and play like that in conference really help battle test you for when you get to the postseason like this, and when everyone's trying to label you as Cinderella, only you and your program know, hey, we've gone against bigger and better schools all season long, but here we are ready to play in Class 2A.
That couldn't be more true, Cody, and even at 3-11 in the Mid-Illini Conference, they were not the worst team in the MIC this season. Again, 3-11 maybe isn't the most attractive record, but again, you got to consider who they're playing against. They're playing against Washington and Morton, who are going against each other in the 3A sectional right now up in LaSalle, Peru. And not to mention you got teams like Dunlap and Limestone as well are bigger 3A schools. So Canton had the odds stacked against them, but the word you mentioned, battle-tested, that could not be more true, and I think it's proving that it's really helping them out in big games tonight. U-High's faced a tough slate as well. Can't discredit their schedule. They've played a tough slate of games, 18-16, not a bad record, and they're here to play in the sectional, trying to move on in the state tournament.
Absolutely, and as we get the inbound, Canton marches it up the court. It's Giles with it. We'll touch on that U-High schedule at our next break. They had a great schedule. This three-pointer on the way from Canton hits back iron and off. Rebounded well by U-High. Now here comes Cordray. In transition, finds Crabtree, trying to feed it down low and didn't like it. They'll back it back out. Naomi Elliott on the bench here for the Pioneers. Pick on ball. Going down low. She rejected the ball screen and dropped off a dime. A great pass that time by Bree Cordray. Finding her teammate down low for the wide open two. Couldn't quite catch the number on the make, Gavin. I think that might have been the other Cordray sister.
I think it was, Cody.
As Canton on the dribble drive in response, kidding around the arc, Ava Wegner. Back outside to Smith, now back to Wegner. Fakes left, goes back to the right. Canton trying to find some lanes downhill. Just outside the block, it's an easy look that time, going up and over the top as Carly Zumstein able to answer, and it's a 14-17 ball game in favor of Canton. The full court steal. Back to the Lady Giants goes the possession. Swung around the wing into the corner. Dribble drive, kick back out. Three-pointer on the way from Canton. Rattles off, rebounded by U-High. As that was Kayla Peterson with the rebound. Going down low the other way, Peterson, free throw line, extended jumper, just off the mark, rebounded in by Canton. Lily Giles trying to come the other way. We're at 1:05 to go here in the first half, 17-14 in favor of the Lady Giants. Dribble drive, got beat baseline, and that can't happen, Gavin, as Crabtree got beat off the dribble by Allison Wheeler, the freshman.
Freshman doing her thing, making things happen for the Lady Giants.
This is a Lady Giants team that starts two freshmen. Demler and Wheeler both start for the Lady Giants. It's now a 19-14 game, 46.5 seconds to go as the blocking foul on the other end was called against number 1. That was Ava Wegner. This will be a baseline out-of-bounds play with 46.5 seconds to go in a 19-14 ball game here in the sectional title game. Well, inbounded quickly on the left wing. Now back to the corner. Crabtree, three. Misses everything long, and it'll be hauled in. Excuse me, no, it'll be saved by Canton. Loose ball was corralled by U-High. Cordray trying to dribble drive to the left. Crabtree kicks to the near corner. Now back to Crabtree. She'll try and drive middle, but Canton's all over it. Nearly forces the jump ball. It's skidding across half court. Referees will say it was tipped. We're down to 15 seconds before halftime. Canton trying to starve off one last attack. Moving it around the perimeter goes U-High into the corner. Now back up top. York, a three-pointer on the way, is airballed short. Hauled in by Canton. 1 second on the clock, and they cannot get a shot up in time. So 19-14, Mr. Gavin Russell, is what our scoreboard will read at the halftime intermission. Give us your quick first half thoughts.
Well, it's been a game of runs so far after a big 9-2 start from the Lady Giants. Of course, we missed that first part, so you won't be able to go back and hear that, but the 9-2 start for the Lady Giants was definitely good for them to get out off and running. But then a big 7-0 run was a big response by the Normal U-High Pioneers. And then in that second quarter, Canton outscored them 10-5. So kind of back and forth. Again, a game of runs. Not a ton of consistency up to this point, but I think there's been a lot of good action. Both these teams have done a lot of scoring in the paint. There's been some steals. There's been some fast breaks. Everything you want out of a great sectional matchup.
Absolutely, Gavin. And once again, the winner of this will advance to play either – I have it right in front of me here, either Alton or Quincy. The winner of that, of course, coming from the Waverly sectional, and they will play each other in the super sectional round. Fun fact, Gavin, if either of these two teams win, they will be the only team not labeled a 1 or a 2 seed from another regional to play in the super sectional round. We have a 5 and a 6 going at it from their respective regionals going at it tonight. Of course, if they win, they'll advance to play a 1 seed from, of course, the Waverly regional, either Alton or Quincy. But again, these are the only two teams left in Class 2A girls basketball that are not a 1 or a 2 seed out of their regionals, and that's got to be something said about these programs.
Well, of course. I mean, the top seeds often do advance forward far into the playoffs, and that's because they're usually the best teams, but that doesn't always prove true. You talk about the Cinderella stories. You talk about the teams, kind of the underdog that kind of comes through late unexpectedly. And that's how both these teams are going. You know, they kind of threw the records out the window, fresh slate coming into the playoffs, and so far they're still here trying to move forward. But we've got a big second half coming up. It's a 5-point game, and I think a lot more action to be had here at this 2A girls sectional.
Absolutely will be. We'll be right back with with first half stats and other things we should touch on here coming back into the action. But we've got about 8 minutes left before halftime. We're going to step aside and take a quick break. You're listening to CSM2 here on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody, to Chillicothe, Illinois, where it's the girls Class 2A sectional title game between U-High out of Normal and the Canton Lady Giants. Gavin Russell, I'm Cody Roskins with you tonight, bringing you the action once more from Chillicothe, Illinois, home of IVC and the Spook House, as Gavin likes to so fondly refer to it as. And Gavin, we had a very back and forth first half. We saw a 9-2 run in favor of Canton in the opening part of the first quarter, followed up by a 7-0 run by U-High to take that into a 9-9 tie going into the second quarter. And then, of course, a very back and forth second quarter, which saw the Canton Lady Giants take out a 19-14 lead into the halftime intermission.
Yeah, again, a game of runs, not a ton of consistency, but that's what you come to expect with mainly a younger team in Canton who only has a couple of seniors. Ashley Groves and Katie Smith. Groves plays a little bit more for this Lady Giants team, but they've got a ton of freshmen and a lot of sophomores, so this is a young team that's only going to get better. Look where they are right now, Cody. They're in the sectional, looking to get a couple more wins and make it to Bloomington Normal, to the state tournament at Redbird Arena. As for U-High, maybe not their best first half, but they did show the flashes. They were great on the offensive boards. They did play good defense at times. Again, just got to find that consistency, hone it in, make those halftime adjustments, and be better for the final 16 minutes of play. Should be a fun one, Cody. Hopefully everybody can stick with us for the second half of action.
Absolutely, Gavin. We should have a great one in store. Once again, no matter what happens here tonight, Gavin, we are going to have the final team not ranked as a 1 or 2 seed in their respective regional advancing to the super sectional round of the girls Class 2A state basketball postseason. As the final 30 or so seconds begin to trickle off the board. Again, it was a back and forth first half, highlighted by a couple of people from each side. Carly Zumstein, specifically for Canton, led the way out of that first half with 6 points by herself, only with the 1 foul. On the opposite side, it was very balanced scoring. We saw Naomi Elliott try a couple 3-point shots down low for Cordres as well. Both of them for the Pioneers of U-High were very effective. And that was one thing that really stuck to me out of that first half, Gavin. U-High with a couple of big offensive rebounds, Canton with a couple of timely buckets.
Yeah, they did have timely buckets, and I think that, again, goes to show the youth of especially Canton. They've got a lot of young players that are kind of finding themselves, so they maybe don't have those star standout players that are going to go off for double digits and come out with a big game, but they do have a balanced attack. They don't rely on just 1 or 2 players in particular. It is a team effort for sure.
Here we go in the second half action as the opening inbounds was thrown in, and Ella Demler will swing it to the left side of the three-point line. Left-footed runner just off the mark outside the lane, and Naomi Elliott brings it down court for U-High. She was the catalyst of the offense in that opening frame for U-High, distributing the ball very well. As it'll be Crabtree on the left wing. Baseline runner coming down. That is Kayla Peterson. Kick back outside to Cordray. And for Crabtree down low, the backdoor cut by Naomi Elliott was starved off by Canton. And again, the Canton Lady Giants doing a great job in their matchup defense. Swing to the left wing this time, looking up and down the baseline for an option. Crabtree swings it to left, back to the left side wing for Naomi Elliott for 3. Clangs off the front iron. Rebounded well that time by Canton. Allison Wheeler, the freshman guard and forward, doing a great job. She'll get it in transition here. Shot fake down the lane. One-footed runner. It comes off the mark, and it will go to possession of U-High.
Well, both these teams had a couple of decent looks in the early going with a 1:05 off the clock. No avail so far. Defensive and rebounds have come up strong in the first minute of play in the second half.
Coming around the opposite side, Cordray loses a dribble on the three-point line. Dribble drive down the lane, kick back outside. Now the left side 3 will be pulled back in by Crabtree. Now she's got it once more on the left wing, looking for the baseline pass. They haven't been able to get it much inside tonight. Crabtree now tries to post up as Canton showing a lot of promise down low. Naomi Elliott drives. Fouled. This will be 2 shots coming on the way for U-High as the foul will get charged. Number 11, Ella Demler.
They run a lot of the offense through senior Naomi Elliott. She's taken several 3-point shots and, of course, driving in right there. Gets 2 shots at the line and nails the first one. Those are big. We haven't seen a ton of free throws in this game, but in a closely heated battle like this where defense is very important, free throws will be big when you get them.
And Elliott connects on the second. It's now back to a 3-point game, and she's got 9 points so far for the Pioneers. And speaking with the Canton radio broadcast for the game, these two teams play a very similar style. They're going to try and beat you from the free throw line and down low, and so far that's been the case for both sides, as a dangerous pass was nearly turned over by Canton. Coming down with it. Swung to the left side, now kicked back outside. Goforth kicks to the right side wing, turned over in the paint, still corralled in. Goforth going downhill in a hurry, dumps it off to Smith, and it's missed and rebounded in by Naomi Elliott. Elliott in transition, she is a flash down the lane, knocked out of bounds, no foul on the shot. This will stick with U-High.
Boy, Naomi Elliott just streaked down the court like a flash, barely even saw her go. Next thing you knew, she was Euro stepping her way up to the hoop, but couldn't get the ball up to the rim. Maybe tipped from behind, but U-High keeps the ball.
5:56 to go here in the third quarter. Ball is turned away and corralled by Canton, coming down the lane, doing it herself, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. Again, Ella Demler getting the ball in transition and taking off.
One thing that Canton has done really well for this entire game is force turnovers, get those steals, and they've been very controlled in their transition game. They're not turning the ball over in transition. It's about kind of honing it in the half-court sets, see if they can do that right here.
Ball inbounded dangerously, just got over to the outstretched hands. Goforth had it kicked to the corner, now to the free throw line. Shot is off the mark that time by Carly Zumstein. As they come down the other way, Elliott kicks to Crabtree in the corner. Crabtree will dribble it back out to Naomi Elliott. Under 5.5 to go here in the third period. Crabtree trying to look down low. Now back to Naomi Elliott. Ball screen coming. She rejects it going left. Steps it back and will again dribble it right back out. Cordray has it. This, of course, being Bree Cordray. Bree Cordray again with that nice behind the back move. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Nearly loses the handle around midcourt. Having trouble shaking free. Dumps it off down low, left-handed hook shot on the way and off the mark by Macy Petlin.
It's a good look, though.
Canton now setting up their offense in the half court, trying to drive baseline, and they will call a blocking foul against Bree Cordray. It's a tough foul call. It looked like she had good legal guarding position, but the referees saw maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, of course, they have the best view, perhaps, being down on the court. Didn't look like a whole lot to me, but fouls haven't been a big issue in this game. Just one aside, 4:49 left to go in third quarter.
Dangerous, nearly gets the 5 count on the inbound. Here comes Ella Demler. Kicking it to the left side. Jenna Goforth kicks it back out to Katie Smith. Smith will charge downhill. Kicks it out right corner three is just long and off the mark. Rebounded by Naomi Elliott. Elliott has it on top. Faking the three-point shot and driving downhill in a hurry. First shot was missed. Second shot followed up and put in that time by Kari Merriweather.
Nice follow. Offensive rebounds, a big story for the Pioneers. He gets one right there and adds 2 points.
Yeah, that initial shot by Peterson was just off the mark. Maybe expected the foul call, but instead it's going the other way. And now Canton has it trying to respond. It's a 1-point game, 18-19 in favor of the Lady Giants. The 6th seed out of their regional taking on the 5 seed out of the other. Winner of this will play either Alton or Quincy. Of course, those two teams playing in the Waverly sectional finals. There's a foul on the baseline drive going left. We'll see who the foul is on. And they're going to say that's on Macy Petlin. As that'll be our under 4-minute timeout, Gavin. So a very, again, back and forth first 4 minutes in the second half. Mirrors a lot of similarities in that first half. What have you seen to this point?
Well, Canton is stuck on a number right now at 19, and we're over halfway through the third quarter, and they have not scored. As for U-High, they have 4 points, a couple of free throws, and a layup off an offensive rebound. So not a lot of offense so far in the second half, but as we saw majority of the first half, it was a game of runs. It was a game of, who got hot at the right time, when did the shots start falling. But we've seen some inconsistencies from both of these teams, and defense is definitely the big factor in this game right now.
Absolutely, Gavin. You touched on it. Basketball is a game of runs, but it's been a season of runs for both these teams. We started on the Canton side of things. They started their year 4-0, Gavin. They lost then 10 in a row in conference play, and now they are tied on their longest win streak of the season with 4, and all 4 of them have come in postseason play.
Hey, you got to throw the records out the window. When you get into the postseason, it's a fresh start, and that's why you see a lot of these Cinderella teams, no matter if you're watching professional, if you're watching March Madness especially, teams will come in much lower, not highly regarded, but that doesn't mean anything as long as you play your best ball, and that's exactly what Canton's doing.
Just a quick side note on the U-High side of things, Gavin. We had them in the State Farm Holiday Classic. Fun fact, as they get this turnover, they were undefeated in that tournament when they put up 40 or more, and they've got to be that magic number tonight against a very strong Canton defense. There's Naomi Elliott trying to find an opening down low. Akari Merriweather can't do it, so she'll back it out. Bree Cordray. Top of the key to Crabtree. Now Merriweather on the drive. Loses it out of bounds. Possession will go to Canton.
All right, so I need to talk about it now, Cody. Big Mo.
We love ourselves some Big Mo.
We do. Momentum is key. Can Canton rein it in? Can they get a bucket here quickly and start to get momentum back on their side?
Late on ball defender comes for U-High. A little bit of trouble matching up on the way down. Quick pass down low is turned away, and an uncharacteristic turnover that time for the junior Lily Giles as they go down low. It's turned over again. Now here comes Canton. It's a 3-on-2 break. Demler hop steps in the lane. Can't finish the first and is fouled on the rebound putback. And so Ella Demler will go to the line for the first points of the half for Canton.
Need to make these free throws. I think that goes without saying with the lack of offense from Canton. Got to get two big ones right here. They do have the 1-point lead, but again, there is a lot of time left in this game.
First free throw rattles its way down and in, so it's now a 20-18 ball game in favor of the Canton Lady Giants. Again, this their first ever sectional final game, looking for their first ever super sectional berth with a win tonight. As the second free throw by Demler is good, and they now hold a 3-point lead.
Those were two big free throws. Got the steal off on the fast break, and they can convert at the free throw line. We see some full court pressure from Canton.
Yeah, able to break it here just of late. Bree Cordray has it, now pitches it back to Naomi Elliott. Pass it over to Crabtree. Now into the far side corner from us. Back to Bree Cordray. Just trying to hunt out the best shot as Peterson has it. Kicks it back to Crabtree. Now back on top of the key for Naomi Elliott. She'll shift back to her left hand, trying to spin back towards the paint, and is fouled by number 14 of Canton, Jenna Goforth.
And as we move over 5 minutes into this quarter, 2:42 remaining, only 5 fouls total, 3 on U-High and 2 on Canton. So not a lot of fouls, Cody. It's been a pretty clean game, maybe letting them play a little bit, but got Canton with a hand check foul.
That's the case. They're going to have an offensive foul here against U-High, an illegal moving screen, and well, the only polite way to say it, Gavin, is that they clocked her. Going down was Jenna Goforth on the play, on the screenplay from Kayla Peterson, and so that'll be her first foul of the game. As Canton gets possession back with 2:38 to go here in the third, a telegraphed backdoor pass is turned over. Now here comes U-High. It's Elliott working on the far side corner. She'll pull a three, and it's just short. Ball rattling around on the floor, still loose. Players scrapping from both teams, and it's finally jumped on by one of each, and a jump ball is the call.
That ball was bouncing around like a pinball right there. It touched just about every player's hand. It was to Canton, then to U-High. Finally got tied up, and the ball will stay with the Pioneers.
2:23 to go here in the third quarter, and a 3-point deficit as this ball again is nearly turned over. Ball loose on the ground. Jumped on again by both a Lady Giant and a Pioneer, and the possession error will give this ball back to the Lady Giants.
Don't often see that. Jump balls simultaneously, right back-to-back possessions. Now Canton has a chance to add to their 3-point lead.
2:14 to go here in the third quarter of this Class 2A sectional final. Again, it's Canton leading over the U-High Pioneers, 21-18. This ball is kicked to the top of the key. Katie Smith now to Wheeler. Again, trying to find an opening, and U-High's done a great job this second half. They've only allowed 3 points. Hopping and spinning back towards the paint in the lane was Ella Demler, and she's getting to the free throw line for the second time this half.
Nice job right inside there, taking it up strong, and saw a couple of U-High players talking to each other down there. It was a tough foul, but now a chance at the free throw line.
First free throw from Demler is off the mark, and She just went 2 for 2 on her last trip, now 0 for 1 on this one. 1:55 to go here in the third period. Second free throw on the way in, good by Demler, and now pushes the lead back up to 4, and it's nearly turned over. Ball trapped in the far side corner, gets it free to Naomi Elliott. It's now 3-on-2 as Elliott will back it out, and they'll set up the offense. Bree Cordray. Being gotten away with a double dribble. Now Naomi Elliott to the top of the key, back to Bree Cordray. Ball continuing to get popped around the key, in and out. Crabtree looking for the entry pass to the post, can't get it there. Again, they pass away and run that back screen for the post up, and they can't quite get it there as Elliott might just say she'll do it herself. Kicks it off to Crabtree, dribbling to the top of the key. Naomi Elliott now, she'll go right towards the paint, kicks back outside, mid-range jump shot on the way and good! This one put in by Bree Cordray, and it's now a 2-point game.
Patient offense, got the right shot. Nice mid-range jumper knocked down.
Under 60 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's a 22-20 ball game. Ball kicked to the far side. Now fed down low, and I couldn't tell if it was tipped or not. Looks like it was not. It's going to go out of bounds. Possession to U-High with 49.5 seconds to go. It's 22-20. Canton leads over U-High. Naomi Elliott has it in the near corner. Great full court pass. Now one more down low. Kicked back outside. Elliott on top of the three-point line. Now will set up the offense. Working one-on-one against Wegner. Now dribbles back. Crabtree will pump fake a three going downhill. Mid-range jump shot. Rattles in again, and U-High has found something in the mid-range. That's Crabtree from just inside the free throw line. Ties this game up. It's 23 seconds to go in the third quarter. Demler will kick to the far side corner. Now going up top, this ball was tipped, and this will be an over and back call, and it's going to go back to U-High, Gavin, as the wheels start to fall off the wagons here for the Lady Giants.
Well, Big Mo is certainly on the side of the Pioneers right now. Defensively, Canton hasn't been too bad. They've given up 8 points, but they've made some nice stops. It's just been their inability to score, getting outscored 8-3 here in the third quarter. 14 seconds to go. U-High a chance to take the lead.
14.6 on the clock. And Naomi Elliott has it. Now down to 11. She'll look for the dribble drive. Hands this one off to Bree Cordray. Now maybe she'll try it. Goes behind the back. Kicked away. And they're going to say a foul against Canton with 6.1 remaining. This will be a baseline out of bounds as Katie Smith picks up her second personal foul.
I'd have to think that Elliott's going to get the ball here. 6.1 left.
Baseline out of bounds play coming. They throw it to the top of the arc. 5 seconds left. Elliott with 4. Elliott with 3. Elliott with 2. Just going to have to pull up with 1. It's just short, and we are going into the fourth quarter tied up at 22. And this Class 2A girls sectional final here in Chillicothe. Gavin, it's been a tightly contested ball game. What's it going to take for either of these two teams to separate themselves?
Well, let's start off with Canton. Canton got outscored 8-3 in that quarter. They scored all of their points off free throws. They did not have a field goal in that third quarter. Not necessarily that they were having bad possessions all the time, but they really were struggling to find a lot of open shots. So Canton definitely needs to try to get the ball moving a little bit more, try to find some open shots. Playing defense well, but you got to find the offense sooner than later. Otherwise, it could be detrimental down the stretch. As for the U-High Pioneers, you got a lot going right. Just got to keep the momentum on your side. Got to get those offensive rebounds like they have all night. Get those extra possessions. Don't turn the ball over. Try to beat the press. There's a lot of things that they can do, and I, of course, just mentioned a lot of things specifically, but got to make those last-minute adjustments as we head into the fourth quarter. It's do-or-die time now, Cody. Leave it all on the floor.
That's right, Gavin. One of these two Cinderella teams will continue to dance. The other one's going to have to hand up their dancing shoes. With 8 on the clock, it's the final period of play for one of these two teams, unless we're blessed with overtime. It's 22-22 all here in Chillicothe. It'll be U-High to inbound the ball out. It'll be Crabtree. And she gets it to Naomi Elliott. She'll work against the freshman, Ella Demler. Ball swung to Bree Cordray. They basically played every minute of this ball game as a near travel call. Loose ball on the baseline. Dances its way out of bounds and will stick with U-High.
Dangerous passing right there. Ball movement's good, but you got to get it to your teammate. Nearly turning the ball over there. Got to keep it in your hands if you're U-High.
That's one thing we've noticed quite a bit of today. It's those interior passes have just not been there today for U-High when they're trying to post feed the ball. This one does get in. Wraparound pass is tipped away out of bounds, though. And again, it'll stick with U-High as the intended target was Macy Petlin coming off the feed from Caleb Peterson.
And the big thing right there, Canton getting their hands in the passing lanes, not allowing the ball to get there.
Quarters swinging around the three-point line. Jab step in the far side corner. Ball tipped away again. Canton just not allowing the post entry right now.
Hounding defense right there, and that's what Canton has been doing really well all night. Defending those interior passes, but got to make a stop now.
Bree Cordray has it on the left side wing. She'll throw to the top of the three-point line. For Naomi Elliott, she'll try and work one-on-one against Jenna Goforth. She gives it off to near side corner. Now going down low. Kicked outside for three. It's good! A big-time three rattled in by Adriana Crabtree. And it gives the Pioneers a three-point lead. 25-22 with 7:05 to go. Going down low. Kick back outside, and it's Crabtree with the steal. Crabtree in transition. We'll pull it back out, and Naomi Elliott will set it up. Elliott trying to shift around, getting lost in traffic. Lob to the backside block, and a foul will be called against Carly Zumstein. That'll be her second personal foul.
Feels like everything's going wrong for Canton right now, and you know, it's characteristic of a younger team to kind of have those struggles, to kind of, when the wheels start to fall off a little bit, it really starts to go south. Timeout taken by Canton. Sorry to interrupt, Cody.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's the exact right thing. Jessica Jones wants to take a quick moment to talk to her team. They currently find themselves trailing after leading for almost the entirety of the ball game, if not being tied. We saw them jump out to a 9-2 lead, which is what was then 9-9 at the end of the second. We went into the break in a 19-14 game. At the end of the third quarter, we went in as a 22-22 game, and here we are at 25-22. And this game, just kind of like we thought it would be, Gavin. Back and forth, tit for tat. It's just a little bit of I don't know. It's coming down the stretch is the easiest way, I guess you could say. There's not a lot of room between these two.
There's not. I mean, it's been pretty even this whole game, even though these teams have had their moments of consistency and inconsistency on both sides of the ball. But Canton's got to find a way to reel it in. It's just been the offense that's been a problem. I mean, you know, they're only giving up 25 points right now. Just got to find a way to score yourself.
Merriweather receives the inbound play here for U-High as Bree Cordray will now come to the top of the three-point line, near the volleyball line, in fact, and will swing it to Crabtree. Knew that she stepped out of bounds. Naomi Elliott working against Demler. And the primary ball handler today, and they're going to have a hold and a foul. This will result in the sideline out of bounds. This is going against Jenna Goforth. That's her second.
We near the bonus for both these teams. 5 fouls apiece. 6:31 to go in the fourth quarter. That'll be a lot of time left in the game in the bonus with just a couple more fouls on each of these sides.
Exactly right, Gavin, as the inbound comes quickly to Merriweather. Bree Cordray holds it over her head, now kicks to Crabtree in the corner. Post feed down low is, I guess you could say that was intercepted by both teams as it was fitting right into the pocket of both Katie Smith along with Carrie Merriweather. And the jump ball will go to Canton, and now here comes Demler with her team trailing by 3. Can these freshmen and young players step up for Canton? Ball is driven and kicked back out to the top of the key for Zumstein. She has it now. Throws it to the left side. Goforth, dribble drive down the lane, spins it home. It's a 1-point game.
Break the seal. It's their first field goal of the second half, Cody.
Only 2 trips to the free throw lines in this half so far for the Canton Lady Giants, and a traveling violation as they get the full court trap. A beautiful one at that between Allison Wheeler and, of course, Ella Demler. And they will have a full timeout charge to head coach Laura Sellers of U-High. And now coming down the stretch here, Gavin, 5:56 to go in a 1-point game. Big Mo maybe putting on a different jersey.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Canton faithful love it. Both these teams traveled fantastic. It's kind of a nasty night for weather outside, but both these teams coming up to IVC really nicely. And the Canton faithful getting into it with 2 big possessions in a row for the Lady Giants. But this is the position now. You're still down 1. You got to keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't get complacent with these last two good possessions and think it's just going to come naturally to you. You got to work and fight for these last 5:56 like never before. It's do or die time, as I mentioned earlier, Cody. Leave it all on the floor in this last 5:56.
Gavin, if you're Canton, where are you going with the ball? You've got two very talented freshmen on your team, but you go back to Jenna Goforth, go back to Ellie Goforth, the sophomore. She's been a kind of a bucket producer so far in this game. Only, again, the one field goal in the second half for her, and there's a plethora of options to go to. Where are you dialing up the play calling?
Well, as our CSM counterpart, Larry Larson, knows very well, I love to give non-committal answers. I'll say you can go to anybody on the floor for the Little Giants. Just take it inside. That's their best option right now, is to try to get into the paint and score.
Ball is going to go for it. She'll kick it to the top of the key. Katie Smith drives downhill. Shot up and ricocheting off the backboard. Rebounded in by Meriwether, now Naomi Elliott. Elliott swings it to Crabtree, loses the handle on it. Back to Meriwether. Now going downhill is like a traveling call. Will be the case. Waiting to see if they're going to call it that time, but Bree Cordray drug her feet.
That's back-to-back U-High possessions ending in a travel, so definitely not good for the Pioneers. You got a chance to extend out your lead, but give the ball back to Canton.
Under 5.5 to go. Baseline hop step is corralled and nearly lost out of bounds. Now to the top of the key. Goforth kicks right side to Demler. They'll look to set up the offense. 5:11 to go and a 1-point deficit for the Lady Giants. Demler crosses over to the left, and Naomi Elliott and Meriwether doing a great job on-ball defense. Kick to the left side. Dribble drive going downhill. Trying to spin it in again. Is off the mark. Rebounded. Kick back outside. Wheeler for three. Off the mark and rebounded in by U-High, and a reach-in foul against Canton.
Boy, that could have been a big opportunity for the Little Giants. Coming off for three right there on the offensive rebound, but to no avail. And U-High's done a fantastic job all night rebounding on both sides of the floor, boxing out nicely, scrapping for those loose balls. Pays off right there as they get the ball back.
4:52 to go here in Chillicothe in a 1-point game here in the girls' Class 2A section final. The inbound pass is stolen and scored! Jenna Goforth jumps the passing lane and dishes it in. It's 26-25 Lady Giants. Quick up-court pass. Down low it goes. Meriwether wants the response. Rebounded up. Fouled as the shot does not fall for Kayla Peterson, and a quick possession that time for U-High.
What a sequence right there. The steal by Canton on the inbounds. That full-court pressure has been crippling to U-High most of this game. Big steal and scores. We get the lead change. 26-25. Canton up. 4:36 to go. But now some free throws. If you're U-High, got to at least try to tie this game as we get into the late stages of this one.
Absolutely the case is once again, Kayla Peterson will go to the line, the senior forward, to help try and extend her playing career in a U-High uniform. Peterson coolly puts in the first with some chirping coming from the Canton student section. 26-26 all with 4:36 to go. As Peterson rattles in the second, it's now back to a 1-point lead for U-High as subs come back in for both teams. As Katie Smith will make her way back out onto the floor for Canton, and Meriwether will come off the floor for U-High.
I don't know personally, Cody, but I got to imagine those big free throws right there were tough to make. Ice in her veins, though, so to speak, as U-High regains the lead.
Wheeler crosses the timeline, now hands it off to Demler. She'll go downhill, kick outside. Down low, Demler finds an opening, can't spin it home. Rebounded in by Elliott, and she'll run the floor. 4:20 to go in a 1-point game. Elliott just atop the three-point line. Now again, we'll look to go one-on-one. Driving downhill, will put her shot up. Kisses it off the window and in. It's up to a 3-point lead for U-High, 29-26.
Elliott has been the force behind this U-High offense. Takes it inside with a nice finish.
Good on-ball screen. Kick outside. Demler will now give it up. Goforth now kicking to the left side, and Wheeler had to go right through her hands. Didn't look the ball in. And that will be our under 4 timeout. Gavin, break it down for us. We're in a tight one coming down the stretch.
Boy, this is going to be exciting, Cody. 3:51 sectional final. Both these teams, great Cinderella stories in the 2A girls IHSA playoffs. both looking to move on as they've didn't have the best of regular seasons perhaps, but they're looking to make some things happen. You know, up to this point, haven't lost, of course, in the postseason. Looking to continue forward. I think it's going to be an exciting finish. I definitely think there's a few keys for both these teams. Got to keep that consistency going for Canton. Got to continue to score. They've had some struggles scoring in the second half. They haven't had a whole lot of field goals, so you definitely need to score more points down the stretch. If you're U-High, you just can't turn the ball over. They've had several turnovers in this final quarter. Limit the turnovers down the stretch. Those are two big keys for both teams.
Absolutely. As we give you our quick game reset, it's been a very back-and-forth game for each side, but Naomi Elliott leading all scores with 11 of the 29 for U-High. And on the opposite end, there's a plethora of players with 5 and 6 for Canton. Just as we thought, a balanced scoring attack. Just to name a couple, Katie Smith, Jenna Goforth, Allison Wheeler have all chipped in a bunch so far for the Canton Lady Giants. 3:51 to go here in Class 2A, sectional final in Chillicothe. As U-High makes their way back out onto the floor. It's a familiar lineup from today. We've got Elliott, Crabtree, Meriwether, Kayla Peterson will round it out. Naomi Elliott trying to go one-on-one in the full court. She's stripped. It's a 2-on-1 break. Dime down low to Katie Smith. Fouled and one!
Wow, what a sequence right there. Didn't take my key, I guess, for U-High turning the ball over again. But look at Canton capitalizing. Great bounce pass into the paint. It gets the and one opportunity. Goes without saying, this is the biggest free throw up to this point.
Free throw on the way, knocks it in, and we are tied at 29, Gavin. Here they come again. Ball inbounded to Crabtree. They've had trouble with this full court pressure today. Crabtree just dribbles right by Allison Wheeler. Naomi Elliott now working one-on-one with Demler. Driving downhill. They're going to call a blocking foul against Demler. And that's going to be her second.
So we'll get the 1-and-1 now. So, of course, if you miss the first shot, it is up for grabs on the rebound. If you make the first, you earn the second one. So I think ever crucial, you at least make this first one. Don't leave any points off the board. Free throws are big, especially late stages of the game. That goes without saying. Elliott with a chance to put her team back in front. So we're all knotted up at 29 at the moment.
And I do want to correct myself. That's her third personal, Gavin. So Elliott at the line for the first. Puts it in, and she'll be rewarded with another with 3:28 to go. She notches her 12th point of the night. Again, to lead all scorers. On the other side for Canton, it's Jenna Goforth with her 8. As she knocks away the second, it's a loose ball corralled in by Canton. Demler has it, working one-on-one with Elliott. Kicking to Allison Wheeler. Now back to Katie Smith. Katie Smith blows by her man, drives down the lane, fouled on the blocking call. And it looks like they're going to give credit to this foul on number 20. And that'll be Bree Cordray.
Now another 1-and-1 on the other end. Canton needs this free throw.
Katie Smith, the senior forward, ties the game back up at 30 with 3:15 to go. She'll have another one. Shot is on the way and in. Just kissing the back of the iron, Gavin, shooting straight down. That's a good-looking free throw.
That was a solid-looking free throw. Steve Nash would be proud.
Nearly a backcourt violation here, trapped against the half-court line, and a great timeout call by head coach Laura Sellers, able to bail out her point guard, who picked up her dribble, Gavin, not more than 2 inches beyond the half-court line and ran right into the double team.
Ever so close to yet another turnover right there. Is that full court pressure by Canton has proven effective. Not something we saw them use too much early on, but once they got it going, they've stuck with it. Great game planning from the Canton coaching staff. It's a game of coaching, too. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You know, you put a lot of expectations on the players, but a good coach putting a good game plan in front of their team can be just as important. So far, both these teams have done a phenomenal job, but that full court pressure has definitely been one of the biggest keys to the game plan for either side tonight.
Absolutely. We'll give you our quick scoreboard reset. It's 31-30 in favor of the Canton Lady Giants. The foul situation is ad reads 8-7. Canton with the 8 fouls. U-High with the 7. The scoreboard scoring column. It goes 8-7, 6, and 5, Gavin. So all in a row for the Canton Little Lady Giants, headlined by Jenna Goforth's 8. And on the opposite side, it goes 12, 8, 2, 2, and 4, who's on the bench. But those 12 points, of course, coming from Naomi Elliott. She's been the catalyst on offense tonight. And again, Canton's got to find a way to starve off the scoring opportunities. In the State Farm Holiday Classic, where U-High took third in that tournament, when they scored 40 points, they were undefeated.
We'll get it going back here. U-High moves it up. And boy, they need to respond right here, Cody.
Absolutely. Gavin kicked to Bree Cordray, backside lob to Crabtree, takes a pound dribble, throws it up, and it will find its way sticking off the tip with U-High. Ball quickly inbounded here by U-High. Trying to post feed it down low, can't do it. Bree Cordray trying to drive downhill. Backdoor to Crabtree, kicks it right back out to Naomi Elliott. Now Merriweather. Merriweather downhill, floater in the paint, rattles off. Elliott finds her own miss, is fouled, and the ball dances off the rim for an and one opportunity.
Holy cow, that was nearly a big-time play right there with getting her own rebound, Cody. Nearly put it in for the and one, but 2 shots right here. 9 team fouls on Canton. And the first shot is up and good, so we're back tied at 31 apiece. Naomi Elliott at the line. She's leading scorer tonight for all sides. And the second free throw is missed. Canton hauls it in, so we stay tied at 31. Moving up the floor now are the Little Giants, but it's taken away by U-High. Here comes Elliott. Elliott for 3. No good. I'll hand it back off to Cody.
Yeah, sorry, Gavin. We had a little bit of technical error. Currently staring off into space here with our battery life dwindling here, just like the time remaining in the game. We're at 15%, Gavin, but I think we'll tough it out. Only 2:16 to go here in the ball game. Canton will cross the timeline against the full court pressure. Ella Demler in contested airspace. It is turned over. Saved in bounds by Naomi Elliott. Now here comes U-High in a 31-31 ball game. Coming across the timeline. Ball is tipped. Spinning it away is Crabtree. Now top of the key, Bree Cordray. Driving downhill, and a traveling violation is the call.
Costly turnover right there, and we're going to get a full timeout from Canton. Not a bad timeout right there. 1:48 to go in the game. Looking to make a last push here. All knotted up at 31. Hope you stick with us for the final last section of this 2A girls sectional final.
That's right, Gavin. 1:48 to go, 31-31. So a couple of timeouts will most likely be called down the stretch here. It's 9-7 fouls. Canton in favor of the 9. Now again, though, coming down the stretch, these free throws will be critical. And again, head coach Laura Sellers and head coach Jessica Jones for their respective sides going to try and dial up some last-minute scores here for each of their sides. Again, we thought the number today for U-High would be to get to 40. Kind of seemed to be their magical number, and for Canton, it really doesn't matter as long as their defense stays compact all game.
That's so true, and I don't know that they'll get to 40. Perhaps they will if we see some late free throws down the stretch. It'll be close, but the defense has been very good on both sides, and I mean, the score is telling of itself. 31-31, it is as even as it could be, even though there's been some runs by both sides. We're all knotted up. Only what matters is what happens from now on in the last 1:48.
Ella Demler will bring it across the timeline, working against Crabtree. She still hasn't gotten there, now will. Hands it off, bounce pass to Allison Wheeler. Now back to Goforth. Gets it right back to Wheeler. It's a 2-3 zone coming from U-High in the last 90 seconds. Goforth has it, swings it around the perimeter. Now Katie Smith back. Going to the top of the key, stripped away by Naomi Elliott. No, it's still free, and they're going to call a foul. And I believe they're going to call it on Canton, and I'm not sure how that's really the case, Gavin, when she had the ball.
Boy, that was a tough call, and he called a push. It looks like he more so took the legs out from under Naomi Elliott. Kind of a tough call. I think maybe they would have been better off just not calling anything at all. Kind of some inadvertent contact. But Naomi Elliott, 2 huge free throws coming up.
First one rattles in. It's 32-31 in favor of U-High.
Minute 22 left to go. Coming down the stretch here.
As the inbound pass comes in, swung to the left side, now back up the middle to Katie Smith, the senior. Might just have to do it herself here in this one. Demler has a kick outside into the corner, won't find an opening target. Willing to pull the trigger. Now Allison Wheeler working against Crabtree. Ball kicked out of bounds with 1:06.
33-31. This is about as good of a game as we could ask for, Cody. 2A girls sectional final.
Quick inbound pass to Ella Demler. Working against Crabtree in this 2-3 zone. Going downhill, ball is poked away. They're going to call a reach-in foul. This will be a 1-and-1 shot situation coming up for Canton.
And I believe you're correct on the 1-and-1. I was wondering if maybe they would say she was taking a shot, but I do believe it is a 1-and-1, and so crucial. Down 2.
Bree Cordray with 60 seconds even on the clock. Knocks in the first. She'll get one more, and if she makes it, it'll be a tie ball game at 33.
And the U-High faithful rattling their feet on the stands, trying to create a little pressure.
Second one rattles off. Offensive rebound is still loosened up for grabs. It's pulled in by U-High. 55 seconds to go, and counting down. Wide open is Crabtree on the opposite side of the court. It's 3-on-3. They will call a timeout. It's head coach Laura Sellers.
Boy, oh boy, we are in for an exciting finish, and not a bad timeout right there. Trapped in the corner. U-High's had some trouble getting trapped with the full court pressure. Canton's done a nice job on that defense, but more often than not, they've been able to break it, and they hold that 1-point lead, 33-32. Game reset coming up right here, 33-32. U-High in front over Canton. 48.3 on the clock in the fourth quarter of this girls 2A sectional final. Full timeout just taken by the U-High bench. They come out with the ball on the far side in the half court as they will try to inbounds. Canton in a situation now, they need to look for a quick steal or consider fouling. U-High's had a few missed free throws, so Canton fouling may not be the world's worst option, but we'll have to see how it shakes out in the last 48 seconds, Cody.
You got to expect the fouls to come at some point. Crabtree will inbound. Ball quickly inbounded, and there's the reach-in foul. They'll put him on the line.
Not a bad foul right there. You only bleed 2 seconds off the clock, so I think that's the intention if you're Canton, was to foul quickly regardless.
Kayla Peterson's first free throw hits the front iron and kisses itself off the backboard, gives them a 2-point lead. Gavin, a big free throw coming up here. As the chirping continues to come from the Canton student section, Peterson drops it in, nothing but net.
Pure.
Coming the other way, here come the Canton Lady Giants. They're trying to keep their season alive. U-High wanting a travel call. Going downhill, Katie Smith kisses it off the window and in, and it's a 1-point game with 34.7. The senior never say die.
Holy cow, we're in for a wild ride. 34 seconds, it just continues to get more interesting. Everybody's getting into it now. The student section for Canton bringing the force on their end of the floor, but good timeout right there. Of course, if you did not know this, for our listeners, IHSA basketball after a made basket. The clock does not stop even in the late stages of the game, so that's why having those timeouts are ever so crucial. We don't have it up on the scoreboard, I don't believe, but Canton probably only sitting with 1 or 2 timeouts remaining in the game. So good job to burn one right there, but we'll have to keep an eye on the timeout situation, Cody, as we come further down the stretch. But now a position you don't have to foul immediately, as U-High has to try to break that full court pressure. Canton ideally would like to get a steal and a score without having to foul.
34.7 again, Gavin. It's going to be U-High in the double bonus. Canton is 2 fouls away from the double bonus. As this spook house begins to rumble back to life as both teams exit their way out of the timeouts, and Crabtree will inbound here for U-High. Quickly inbounded back across and back over a lateral. That was legal, coming to Naomi Elliott. Under 30 seconds. Still trying to get the ball across. Are they near the time? Spun away by Crabtree. Ball is loose. It's stolen away by Canton. Katie Smith on the breakaway. Jump stop and is fouled with 18.2.
What a sequence, and U-High, the players just can't believe it. Just narrowly get it across half court before the 10-second violation, but turn it over, and now the 2 biggest free throws of the game.
Katie Smith, the senior, to try and extend her season. First one is off the mark.
Wow. It's going to come down to this, more than likely, to try to tie. Move past the first one. See if she can clutch up for a free throw.
18.2 remaining. Smith puts it in. It's 35-35. And they're going to call a lane violation, so wave it off, Gavin. It is waved off. 35-34, and now we're going to have fouls coming, most likely from Canton.
Unreal. Make the free throw, and it's waved off, and the Canton fans cannot believe it. Honestly, I didn't even get a good look at that, Cody. I was too busy looking at the ball going through the hoop, but that's what the officials are for. I'm not going to question it. The official had the best view of the lane and calls the lane violation, negating the free throw.
Ball quickly inbounded and a foul called against Canton with 17 even to go. So Kayla Peterson will go to the line with 17 seconds. Peterson, the first. Again, is nothing but nylon.
Such a good-looking free throw stroke right there. Looks like making it look easy, Cody.
That's right. 17 seconds left, and she puts in the second. It's now a 3-point game. Canton can look for the 3 or the 2 and trying to play the free throw game again. Ball inbounded across the line to Demler. Demler outside. Wheeler for 3. Just off the mark. Rebounded by Canton. Shot is up. Off the mark. Tipped around. Rebounded by Demler. Reached away in a foul with 4.2.
Wow. Got 2 offensive boards to keep it alive. Now what do you do, Cody? I know I'm in the analyst role here, but I got to ask you, do you try to maybe miss one of these free throws purposely? Only 4.2 left. A lot of decisions to be made here.
She makes the first, Gavin. It's a great question, and it's a time-old one, but with the success they've had, excuse me as I try and catch my breath, with their full court pressure, I'd say you try and play for the both the makes. Rattles in the second. It's a 1-point game. The Lady Giants trying to keep their season alive.
What a great finish coming up. 4.2, 37-36, U-High in front. And a timeout there from Canton. And looks like the officials are going to get together during the timeout and discuss.
I think they're going to, what's going to be happening here, Gavin, is they want to try and let the players play to finish out these last 4.2, but if it's blatant and obvious with intent behind it, you've got to blow the whistle, Gavin. That's kind of what both these referees will do, and it's a 30-second charge timeout Again, game reset, 4.2 seconds left on the clock. Canton trails 37-36 as the U-High Pioneers have come storming back in the second half. It's been a tit-for-tat second half at that. Katie Smith has been the hero down the stretch for Canton. And so U-High will be shooting 2 free throws here. Excuse me, they'll be inbounding, it looks like, I believe. Thought maybe there was a foul call. Maybe they got the timeout off prior. So with 4.2 seconds, they will go ahead and inbound the ball. It'll be Crabtree doing the inbound job with Peterson and Naomi Elliott nearest to her.
Watch for that lateral, Cody. They can pass it on that out of bounds.
And they'll go for it again. They want to get it to Peterson. The ball's nearly tipped away, and there will be a reach-in foul with 3.1 on Katie Smith. 3.1 seconds remain. No matter what happens here, Gavin, Canton will have a chance to go down and tie. They're up 1. U-High will be shooting 2 to make it a 3-point game. The referees will converse. As Kayla Peterson marches to the stripe. What are the biggest free throws of her season? Kayla Peterson puts in the first, 38-36.
Remember, 3.1 left to go in this game. So with a make or a miss, it's going to be a last-second heave for the Little Giants.
It's going to have to be quick, whatever it is. Peterson makes the next, and a timeout charged to head coach Laura Sellers. 3.1 left.
Unlike professional in the NBA, of course, on the timeout, there is no advancement of the ball. So got to go the full length of the court. Wondering if they'll maybe look for a half-court heave or try to throw a Hail Mary football pass to get a better look. Either way, it's going to be an exciting one. Don't go anywhere. Timeout will be done in just a minute.
As they're calling for both teams to come out of their timeout with their first warning. Again, Gavin, the rule is for every dribble you could take, there should be a second on the clock, and you need at least 0.4 typically to get a shot off. So you think maybe they've got around 1 to 2 dribbles here with just the 3 seconds left. Of course, with no instant replay, you don't want to cut it too close on letting it go, and don't let the referees wave it off.
But I go back to that earlier free throw that was waved off because of a lane violation. That could have changed the whole dynamic of the game, Cody. That one free throw.
Again, it's 39-36. Canton needs a 3, and U-High knows it. Does Canton have one more Cinderella story left in them? They've starved out just about every major seed in their season. They've gone through a very rocky Mid-Illini Conference season. Ball is inbounded, 2 seconds on the clock. One more to Wheeler for the tie. It's off, and Normal U-High is moving on to the Super Sectional.
Wow, what a finish. What a late game stretch. Both teams just played absolutely great. Just an excellent basketball game. Whether you're a fan of either of these teams or not, this was a fun one to be a part of, Cody.
And Normal U-High races back over to their bench and supporters as Canton, understandably so, somber. That's the last 3.1, just not there, but wow, what a good look for Wheeler. She was just off to the left.
It was the good look. They got exactly what they wanted. Normal U-High will advance, though, and I want to say, though, for Canton, this is a team that's going to largely be back next year. One senior on the roster. They will be back, and they're going to be back in full force next season.
Absolutely, a very young Lady Giant squad. They should have no disappointing feelings or regrets about this season, Gavin, as U-High has just been awarded their sectional title. And again, they will go on to play either Alton or Quincy out of the Waverly sectional in their super sectional matchup. On the opposite end, Canton's season will come to a close at 39-36 final in this one from Chillicothe. Just as our computer continues to dwindle on battery life, Gavin, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. For Matt Harrington running the social medias and getting photography tonight, I'm Cody Roskins for Gavin Russell. Thanks for tuning in to CSM2 here tonight. We'll catch you guys next time.